Did you know that in No Man's Sky, if a player visits one planet per second, it would take almost 600 billion years to visit them all? You're listening to the Xbox Hub Podcast, the official podcast of the TheXboxHub.com. For all the latest Xbox news, reviews, videos, and opinions, make sure you visit the TheXboxHub.com. But for now, settle down, get comfy, and open your ears for some podcast delights. Hello, and welcome to the Xbox Hub Official Podcast, episode 128. My name is Gareth Bryan. I'm going to be your host. On my virtual left is Mr. James Burks. How you doing, James?
Hey, not too bad, thank you. How are you?
Oh, very good.
Good.
Good. We're carrying on. We're carrying this conversation on. On my virtual right is Mr. Paul Renshaw. How you doing, Paul?
Hey, I'm glad to see the hey-hey's coming back.
I know, I like the hey-hey.
It makes me happy. I must admit, I'm surprised to see James here. I thought he'd be distraught with the news out of Korea that BTS are breaking up or taking a break or whatever it is they're doing.
He doesn't like BTS.
With him being such a K-pop fan.
Yeah, not them, no.
No, not them. Okay.
All right. Now, James, just very quickly on that, because we've got lots to do, there's a K-pop musical I saw rehearsing today. Coming to the West End.
There?
Yeah. I'll find some more information about that. I saw it in rehearsal today.
Let's get tickets. We can all go.
We can all go, yeah.
Oh, that would be awesome.
That would be
good. The Xbox Hub hits London.
That's the Christmas party. Sorted out.
Sorted. Done. Yeah.
Now, we're not going to do the usual stuff we normally do because we're going to cover the Xbox Bethesda showcase, and also, if we get time, we're going to do a bit of the Summer Game Fest that happened on, I think it was Friday, wasn't it? Thursday. Good. And so we're gonna maybe not cover everything, maybe we will, but we're gonna do the most important ones, and then we're gonna have a chat about them. Are we ready? Because I think I'm going to start with the big one, which happened at the end of the show, which was Starfield, which we knew was coming. So if you've not seen it, they showed maybe 15 minutes of kind of bits of gameplay, a kind of journey about where you're going to explore, some of the gameplay elements to it, like flying, like customizing your ship, being on the planets, about what you can do. And, Twitter went mad, as always Twitter does, pros and cons. I'm interested in you two, first of all. James, what do you think?
I'll be honest, for most of the 15 minutes, I was a little bit on the fence.
Oh.
I mean, the character models looked a little bit iffy, and you didn't really get to find out anything about, like, the depth of the story or anything. It was more about shooty and, generic enemies and stuff. But at the end, when they mentioned that there's 1,000 planets to explore, I actually gasped. I was like, oh my god, that is a lot. I mean, I think that's a great selling point. But like you say, social media didn't quite take the same thought process as me. And they think it's too many. But I think 1,000 planets, there's going to be something in there for everyone. So to get the story right as well, you've got the No Man's Sky kind of people covered with the exploration. And then you've got the, them that have come to actually get deep into a main plot or some side quests. I'm impressed overall in how big it's going to be. The scope, massive. Absolutely massive. I was left impressed.
I'm, like you two, obviously watched this as well, which I watched the Xbox Extra conference on Tuesday. But there was an interview with Todd Howard, and he was talking about the main quest is 30 to 40 hours of gameplay, and then side quests on that will be on and on, and like end game stuff as well. So it's a big game, and it's a lot bigger than Skyrim, a lot bigger than the ones they've done before. Paul, what was your impressions? You love a bit of this.
My impression again was really echoes James. Really, I was watching it thinking this. I was really getting strong Fallout vibes from it. Particularly the way you talk to people and they stand front and center and talk to you. But you don't have a voice again, which, but the scope of it and the scale of it was unbelievable. I mean, like James said, 1,000 planets. I mean, you're going to be exploring for a good long time, just looking for stuff. And, even if each of those planets only has one mission on it, say, you're still looking at 1,000 side missions on top of the story. Yeah. So that's just basic maths there, kids.
I like it.
I worked out. Sorry to interrupt, Paul.
That's all right, James. You go ahead, my friend.
By the time you've done about 2 planets, there'll be a remastered version.
Well, that's probably true. Yeah, I wouldn't say 2 planets. I'd say probably 3. So don't over-egg it too much. But I mean, the thing you were saying about Twitter, I was reading Twitter afterwards, which is always a mistake. And it was like, yeah, but what about the dust from the landing of the spaceship? It didn't look very realistic. I was like, this is a game that's 6 months minimum from being launched. I think they'll have time to tidy up a bit of graphical fidelity, say. But, then again, this is Bethesda. And if it launched without looking ropey and with bugs everywhere, people would be wondering what's going on. They'd think it was like one of the signs of the apocalypse. So,
but also you've got this to be sensible here. This game is huge. So when people were kind of like slagging off the character models, which did look like Fallout, it's a bit like Skyrim, it's a thing. That's what they do. But you can't have graphical quality. Say, I'm just playing The Quarry at the moment. You can't have that kind of in-depth, kind of like facial expressions on a game that size. It just doesn't work. You can't do it. Because you haven't got enough space, you haven't got enough time, not with the 1,000 planets to explore. So it's, it's amazing kind of I think the customization, the ships, all that stuff. I think it's going to be great. I'm really excited about it. I can't wait to go.
Yeah, I must admit, I'm excited. It does look good.
I think also as well, which I forgot to say at the start, I really like the kind of, I really like the Xbox conference. I like the fact that they kind of put their stall out and said, these are the games in the next year you're going to see. So everything you'll see today is within the next year, from like July to June next year. I really like that. That's not happened before, is it?
No, I don't think it has. So yeah, it was a nice departure. I must admit, I mean, the presentation of the whole thing was very slick, very professional. It didn't have Jeff in it, so that's always a plus. And it was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
the presentation as a whole.
James, before we go on to other games, because we've got a lot to get through, do you think, I think it's clear from both kind of conferences that 2022 maybe is a bit weak, as we kind of know, because of COVID, because of everything else. Is that fair to say or not?
Yeah, I mean, we were hoping we'd find out that there's something coming, or maybe a little bit of a surprise, but it's looking all right for medium-sized games this year and indie games. But as a big hitter, this year's done for, isn't it, really? I mean, we wanted to see... Well, I was hoping to see Hellblade.
Yeah.
At least.
That's not... So with that,
it's not coming next year.
Yeah, we know that's not going to come till maybe late 2023. So yeah. But Starfield, we're happy with. Hopefully, we might be playing it March sometime. I reckon March, Feb, maybe. Yeah. It's going to be a busy year next year. But yeah, we like that. Now, the next big one that they opened the show with was Redfall. And we saw some gameplay for this as well. We had much more of an idea about the kind of the way it plays. Later on, we found a bit more about the co-op stuff as well, and the kind of world it kind of creates. What do we think about that? Paul, let's start with you. Redfall, do you like the look of this?
Well, I do. This was one of the ones I was looking forward to. So actually seeing it running and seeing the way they're treating it, I was quite pleased. It had kind of strong Left 4 Dead stroke Back 4 Blood vibes with the 4-player and everything, but the abilities that they all seem to have were fantastic. They all seem to be, very different, the characters that you could control. like the girl that can summon the elevator and ride up to it to get height and stuff. I thought that was very good. The vampires look exciting. The human enemies as well. So it all looks, it looks very promising. I can't remember when that's out. Is that this year or next?
Next as well, 2023.
Didn't they say it was early though? Hasn't
Yeah.
it moved to early?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm cautiously excited for it, shall we say? Because I'm a big fan of a co-op game as opposed to a PvP game. I may have mentioned that before, but yeah, for me, it's all shaping up very nicely.
I think what's nice about this as well is like it's co-op, but it doesn't feel like it's reliant on co-op, does it? It's not like for Red 4 Dead or Back 4 Blood. It feels like they were saying no, this is single as well. You can play this as a single player experience, which is a little bit more clearer from that trailer as well that we saw.
Yeah,
which is great. Gives that option. James, what about you?
I'm not quite as convinced as Paul. There's definitely something there with the whole Left 4 Dead vibes. And I think there's an enemy called a blood bank. That was quite cool. But it exploded and all the other vampires came towards it. But it's obviously they've got a bit of work to do. I mean, the enemy attacks seem very repetitive. Every vampire did a pirouette and a swipe over and over again. So hopefully they can give them a bit more variety. But I do like the telekinesis character, Layla, I think it is.
Right.
And the marksman. They look quite cool. And the little robot. And the world seems cool, but I just don't know if it'll transform into a decent experience. It all depends on the next, 6 months or so.
Yeah.
As to what they can do with it. It looks alright, but I'm not convinced.
You're not sold? You're not sold?
Not quite.
No.
I'm
nearly there.
Tough audience.
Yeah, I'm nearly there.
I thought it looked great. I mean, I'm a big Dishonored fan, so I really like what they do there as a studio. It had lots of it felt like they were doing something different, but there was similar stuff in there. So, yeah, I know what you mean, though. I do know what you mean, but we'll see. It's another big game coming at the start of next year. So, yeah, good. I'm going to move on because I'm going to go straight to Paul with this. Forza Motorsport. We saw a bit more. We saw a nice river.
Absolutely, yeah. Some lovely countryside.
And we know it's coming in spring 2023. Did you think, Paul, first of all, do you think this was going to come out this year?
To be honest, with how quiet it's been, I would have been very surprised if it was coming out this year. I'd have expected to have seen something by now. Right. I mean, don't forget, there's only half of the year left. So if it was going to be out, it would have been pushed a bit more, I think.
Right.
So, but looking at what they're doing, I mean, you can see the amount of detail and care they're putting into the game. I mean, the bit that struck me was when they were talking about the damage model, and you could see when that car sideswiped the Armco, and like the bits that stick out were more damage than the bits that were inside, and I was blown away, shall we say.
You loved it.
I absolutely. I mean, the night-day cycle and everything else, it just looked amazing.
What were the other features they had in there?
Some cars.
Some cars, yeah.
Some racetracks.
Nice.
I think it was. They only showed the one racetrack, didn't it? Which was Maple Valley, I think it's called, which is from the earlier Forza games. So. Yeah, I mean, it was all about the world that they were making, though. It was like look at how the sun shifts in the sky as you go racing and everything. It was just, I was sat there with my jaw agape, shall we say. It just looked unbelievably good. So I'm very excited about that.
You're sold.
I am.
James, you sold on Forza Motorsport. We didn't see Prague, which you've seen for the last...
We didn't, no. And we did see...
I can't see you two in Prague.
We've been there. We used to love it in Prague, didn't we, on the old...
yeah, we did.
Forza 5, was it?
Yeah, it was on
it was
on a lot of them. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone.
Every one of
The
them.
same tracks recycled
Yeah,
every year.
that's what I'm hoping for.
Um,
New tracks. I want new tracks from them all. Yeah, go on. Sorry, James.
Yeah, just make up some tracks. Just create a few new ones. But yeah, I think we saw that the temperature, like, it's obviously the dynamic weather, will
Yeah.
affect the grip on the track, which I thought was quite a good touch. And they said that something like the clouds, when they were making the clouds look better. I thought they'd get serious here. Very serious.
Oh,
he's there. He's got it in.
Oh, gross.
But yeah, it did look fantastic.
Yeah.
And the damage is right up my street. I'd love to see a bit of damage. But it is Forza. If you love Forza, you're going to love it anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and there's a lot more customization, which will help
Yeah.
the petrol heads.
I hope they get back to some of the. I remember the sort of earlier Forzas, not the really early ones, but maybe 5 or what number is this one now?
This will be 8. I think it's just called Forza Motorsport, though, isn't it? I don't think they put a number on it.
I think it was really nice when they kind of mixed some of the kind of like the party games in there as well. They got a bit. It just was. It felt,
football.
Yeah, I kind of hopefully they get a bit of that. It's a bigger package.
But that's what Horizon's for, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Horizon's for silly stuff. This is for serious racing.
Racing. There you go.
But I mean, the other thing that I really liked as well was you only really saw it in the stills that you looked at afterwards. But it was like the reflections of the cars in the cars next to them. It was just, it looks so good. And it's got ray tracing. I mean, I've got no idea who ray tracing is, but he's there as well. So
my only other thing about that is I'm really impressed by that river. I'm really impressed by those reflections. I'm not going to see those reflections of that river at 90,000 miles an hour going around a track.
Well,
you don't drive that fast.
No, it's true. I will.
You're the man who looks in the houses in Forza Horizon.
Yes, true.
5,
it's very true. I'll be looking out for that. Good.
We're having a picnic.
There was a game which I really liked. Do you remember Dirt, like on the 360? When you played Dirt, I think maybe it was Dirt 3. I think maybe it came out early 360. You were driving on one of those tracks, and someone was having a picnic by the side. That's the worst place to have a picnic.
Yeah, that'd be Dirt.
Was it you?
Yeah, it's probably me. Yeah. Good. Right, we're going to move on. Now, this is for me, but I don't know if you two have played it. A Plague Tale Requiem is coming to Game Pass as well. And that's coming out in 2022. This is actually coming out this year, apparently, but there's no date, which always worries me. But maybe, I think, I read a few previews this week as well, so people have had lots of hands-on stuff with it as well. So I'm really excited about it because I loved the first one. I thought it was brilliant. An amazing kind of game experience and very different. So I'm really excited about going back there. And someone was talking about the preview this week. Beforehand, you'd see 30,000 rats on screen, but now it's like 300,000. So it's a massive kind of increase with the new power. But yeah, I don't know if you James, you haven't played it, have you?
I haven't, no.
No. Paul, have you played it? Have I got it wrong? The first one?
I haven't. No, it never appealed to me. But I mean, is the current game, is that like the one that we saw in the trailer?
Yeah, I mean it's an extension of that story.
That looked really cool.
Yeah, I mean it looked. Yeah, it looks great. It's a great game. Neil loved it, and it's got a big story.
I was going to say it's got a story.
He loved it. Yeah, he absolutely loved it. He was, because I reviewed it for us, and I think I gave it 4.5. I always regret that I didn't give it a 5. And Neil loved it. He thought it was going to be a 5. And I think it was really interesting when I reviewed it. I remember saying with the Xbox Hub, I think I want to do this game. And of course, no one else knew anything about it. No one was interested about it. It just came. It's one of those games that came from nowhere, and people loved, and it did very well. It's a really good-looking game, and also it's got a Series X. I think it's still on Game Pass, isn't it? Maybe it's the first one's on Game Pass.
Not sure. If it is, I'm going to look. Yeah,
do it. Definitely, you've got to play it.
It looked well. The new one looked good. I've literally not seen anything. Believe it or not, I haven't even read your review, Gareth.
Oh my god!
I do apologise.
Yeah. I think Richard did another review for the Series X reboot or remaster. But yeah, please have a go. You've got to play it. Give it a go.
It did look quite violent, this one.
Yeah, the other one's violent. Yeah, I think the other one's violent as well. Yeah, quite gritty. Yeah.
We like a bit of grit.
Yeah, but that's exciting. That's my big game. That's my big. This is going to be fun. Well, for me, it is. Yeah. I mean, it's the biggest one of those kind of games coming this year. I think maybe.
There were loads of like walking simulators and stuff. I mean, I'd have thought one of those would have been your game of the year.
They'd be there. They'd be coming out as well. I'm going to move on because you two haven't played, but one game I really like the look of, which I've put on this list, is High on Life. Which I didn't know anything about, which is from the Rick and Morty team, isn't it? And it's definitely got Morty's voice. And it's like an FPS, and the guns and the weapons you're doing are talking, and the bullets are talking. Yeah, there's a little trailer. I love the look of this. This is great.
It looked bonkers.
Paul, do you like the look of this?
I like the look of it. I really did. I thought the knife was fantastic. Hitting people like stab.
More.
Yeah, I thought that was really quite amusing. And the guns, it's just bizarre.
Yeah.
I watched it the following morning with my son when he got out of bed, and he was looking at me like, "What on earth is this?" Because he's all serious FPS kid. But yeah, I just thought it looked absolutely bonkers. And I mean, I'm not aware of Rick and Morty. It's not something that's on my radar, but this looked very amusing and certainly something different, which is very rare these days.
Yeah, absolutely. James, you're a big Rick and Morty fan like me, aren't you? So.
I think that's what got my attention when I heard Morty, or the voice of Morty, should I say. But yeah, it looked hilarious and weird and wacky, and that's everything that Rick and Morty's about. But yeah, I think there's a little bit in the start of the actual trailer where there's an alien getting high on a human using a hyperbong. I thought, yeah, this is it. This is
for me.
Be a ride.
Well, the good news is
ride.
It's going to come into the Game Pass in October, so we're going to get to play this for free on the Game Pass. So that's really exciting, and it's good. Like you said, it's good to have something new. I mean, my only concern is it might get a bit stale after 2 hours, but it might not.
When
it
you
might
keep
not.
hearing the same line over and over again.
Yeah.
Or knifey.
Yeah. But it might not. It might be really exciting. But yeah, that's good. It's something new. Good. I'm going to mention this to YouTube. I don't think YouTube play this. No, Overwatch 2. It's free to play, isn't it? The beta in October. Is that right? Am I messing that up?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. We knew this was coming. I mean, you two are not Overwatch. I mean, I think I reviewed for us Overwatch, the first one.
You did.
Well, you are the FPS correspondent.
I am. So. Yeah. I mean, I loved playing it then. I went back at it, and it's a totally different thing now. When I first reviewed it, I was quite decent because no one else was playing it. No one else was playing it. No one knew what they were doing. But now I'm not decent. No. And Overwatch 2, I think I don't know. It looks a bit like Overwatch 1.5 rather than 2, but maybe that's a bit harsh. We'll see.
My son's all over this.
Right.
He loves Overwatch, and he is really good at it. It's very amusing seeing all these sweaty tryhards, and then play of the game goes to an 11-year-old from Nottingham. So yeah, it's he played that, and he looked at it, and he was like, "Yeah, we've got to get that." And he said, "I don't know if you're going to mention Hollow Knight later, are you?"
No.
But he's also very excited about that one.
Oh, good.
So,
yeah.
The Silk one.
Yeah.
Hey, Hollow Knight's the good game.
Yeah.
It's too hard for me. I haven't got the reflexes, but yeah, he's really looking forward to that one as well.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think it's going to be very popular. So beta's coming out October. Next on the list. Now this is I've put this down here because is it big? I'm not really. I don't really know that it's Riot Games. So Xbox Game Pass has got Riot Games, and they've got League of Legends.
Huge.
It is huge. James, tell me why this is huge, because I don't play these games.
Because they're getting the biggest games right now, and have been for probably the last few years, in League of Legends, Valorant, Legends of Runeterra, and they're all coming to Game Pass with tons of unlockables. Like getting every character in these games, which would normally set you back quite a lot of money. And there's esports galore for League of Legends. You know how popular that is. But it's a big deal. Straight into Game Pass. On Xbox as well. I mean...
And it's not come to console before these games, have they? Is that right?
No.
Okay.
No, that's what I mean. It's not just PC, it's Xbox, which I think is a big deal. For League especially. I'm excited. I played League before.
Yeah.
But it's hard work on the PC.
Yeah, okay.
So on the console, it can be enjoyable. But yeah, it's exciting.
And this is coming next year, isn't it? It's not this year. I think it's 2023. These.
Yeah, I think you start releasing them next year, don't
Right. Okay.
But you didn't give a set date.
I can tell Paul's excited about it.
Oh, I tell you what, I'm beside myself. All these games that I've heard of League of Legends, but I've never watched it. I've never found out anything about it, and it's not even a blip on the radar. It's not for me.
I tell you what, we're going to start our own esports team, the Xbox Hub Esports for League of Legends. Yeah,
that would be awesome.
It'd be one of these groups.
Can we play Overwatch just so I can watch you?
Do that. Great. That'd be us next year. No.
Forza and Overwatch would be unbeatable.
Exactly.
It bear thinking about.
It doesn't bear thinking about. Scorn. That's where I'm going next. Scorn.
Oh yeah.
We know Scorn was coming, but we've got a date. I think it's October. Maybe it's October the 17th. Maybe I made that up. Probably have. But it's definitely October. Scorn is the FPS, which is set in a kind of like what's the designer who
H.R. Geiger.
Yeah, H.R. Geiger, and it's in that kind of feel of that world.
It couldn't be any more Geiger, really, could it? Looking at it,
no.
You know,
it's not a game for James. We're not even going to go down that. We're not even going to ask his opinion.
It's not really scary. It's more grotesque.
Oh, so you'll be all right with this one?
No, I'm just not interested in it. I won't be scared of it.
There's nothing for you there at all?
No, it's just weird.
Well, okay. I'm excited about it because it looks brilliant. It looks grim. It looks gory. It looks like all the things that I like. So, although I may have to fight you for it since it's an FPS to do the actual review, Gareth, will I?
Well, yeah, maybe, yeah. The only thing I saw about it was it's $34.99 to buy. And I thought, it's interesting that because you look at it and go, why is it $34.99? Is it a short game? Is it?
It's been in development forever, hasn't it? See, I was thinking you were going down the route of $34.99 is quite a lot of money, but it's not, is it? When you think about full price things these days, they're 70 quid.
Yeah. So I'm just interested in why it is that.
It must be 8 hours.
It's only
10 hours.
Yeah. Okay.
You have to wait for the other half later in the year as DLC.
Yeah. Good. All right, I'm going to move on. I've got so much to get through. Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn. Now, we saw originally a little kind of we didn't see gameplay, did we? We saw a little teaser before. And now we saw gameplay. We saw this world. I like the look of this. I hate to say this word, but it reminds me a bit Soulsy. Is that right, Paul, to say that?
Elden Ringsy.
Yeah.
Yes, I thought it looked good. Adding the gun in made things a little more interesting.
Yeah.
And whatever that fox thing was that seemed to let her teleport, I thought that looked quite interesting.
I think it's going to be a little quiet. It's going to come from nowhere and do quite well, I think, this one. I'm quite impressed. James, what about you?
I like the little fox.
Yeah.
If you could put him into a side game, with like some happy storytelling,
some fruit to collect or something, yeah.
Yeah, I'd play that, but
maybe an Ice World.
It just nothing about it appealed to me.
Oh God!
I mean, they've got a gun, cool. Everyone's got a gun. What kids do?
Yeah,
I haven't. I'll put that out there. Yeah. I've not got it. Sorry,
everyone is interesting.
Everyone's in London.
Yeah.
I saw it the first time, and it was just a fox that stood out. I just don't know if it's for me.
No, I don't think it is for you. It's for me and Paul.
Yeah, I think so. Are you not a Souls guy then, James? No.
I've got no soul.
Well, are you ginger?
Yeah. I would like to say.
But this is the next one's going to be for James because it's Persona. I thought you would want to play these. You said on Twitter you're going that.
No, I am. I literally have no clue what is in store for me. But I know it's going to be weird. And I just love the look of it. I mean, it's a bit old now, especially. I think it's Persona 3.
Yeah.
Portable. That's one of them. That's about 12 years old now.
But you're getting 5, aren't you? The Royal Edition.
Yeah.
So,
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I think you play darts as well.
I did 10 minutes of that. I couldn't do it. But it's like it's coming next year, isn't it? It's not. Is it not this year? Is it maybe?
It's October.
Oh, it's October. Great. There you go.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, that's a big.
It's really interesting.
That's a massive game, John. That's a 100-hour game there.
Have you played it?
I played a bit on the PlayStation I did a couple of hours.
Not for you.
Not for me, but. Yeah, I think it's for you though. I think you'll love it.
I think it's got you written all over that.
Yeah.
James.
Good.
I mean, it looked great. I thought. But again, I made the mistake of looking on Twitter and the amount of rage from the PlayStation fans that it's coming to the Xbox is unbelievable. Oh my word! I mean that and the unannounced Hideo Kojima game that's coming.
That was a weird one, wasn't it? It was like,
have you seen they've made a petition on I think it's change.org to stop him releasing this game on the Xbox.
Oh, wow.
And it's got 2,500 signatures or something.
Wow.
I was looking at it going, what is wrong with you people?
Wow. That is mad. That is mad. And also, there's nothing there. It feels like he's just got an idea.
Yeah, he's just got a
really weird idea.
Yeah, weird idea. See you later.
But no one else to touch.
That was a weird one. That was
the
only weird one to put in because it was like, I can understand why they put it in, but it's like, we're going to just cover the games for 12 months. And like, this game's coming out in 2029.
Yeah.
Good. Let's go on to another one, which I think Paul's going to love. Maybe James as well. Diablo 4.
Oh, yes.
Tell me about this. Is this a new Diablo then? Is this not coming to console? Right, okay. Tell me about
this. Different Diablo. Well, I only know what I saw in the trailer. They announced the whole new class, the Necromancer, that was in Diablo 3. So I was a bit surprised by that. But it looked great. It's Diablo. I mean, what else do you want me to say? It's
well, no. I think I mean, just looking at it, I think there was lots of things. You know, I haven't really played. I think I played maybe one of them, but I was thinking, oh, this is quite interesting when they were talking about if people are really good at the game.
Yeah,
you become like a target. It becomes harder. They're really.
Oh, that's in the PvP section, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I think that's really exciting.
Yeah, not my bag.
And it looked great. It looked visually. It looked really good.
Fantastic. Yeah.
And I think, and they've talked about this week how they're going to be supporting it, which they always do, don't they, with those games, with loads of DLC, loads of things going on. So yeah, I mean, is that coming to Game Pass? We don't know.
I want to say yes.
Yeah, I think it's yes.
But I think, I mean, they seem to get into here's a trailer, and then it said at the end, coming to Game Pass. I want to say yes, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
Well, I want to say yes, but that would be wrong, Gareth. So no, it's not coming to Game Pass.
Good. There you go. But you'll be very excited. You'll be all over this week.
I am. I will be all over that. What about you, James? What do you think?
I think if it was on Game Pass, it would be. Because I'm interested in the co-op side. Yeah, I think the co-op aspect.
Well, yeah, absolutely. The co-op is the best bit. But I thought you'd be right up your alley, you know, being a RPG and stuff.
I've never, ever played Diablo, ever in my life.
What? You played League of Legends and never played Diablo?
I know.
I feel like I don't know you at all.
Well, you have to teach me, Paul.
I will. Don't you worry. Young Padawan.
Yeah, I think they said they had, like, special events that pop up in the game.
Oh, yeah.
And you've got to work as a team.
Yeah.
Is that something new?
I don't remember it from 3. I mean, there were always stronger monsters roaming around. But yeah, I think the whole new event thing that they showed with that giant monster just appearing out of nowhere, I'm pretty sure that's a new thing for 4.
Yeah, that seems really cool. That's the most exciting bit, I think. And the Necromancer. I mean,
the Necromancer was pretty cool.
Yeah. I think it looked good. I did think it looked good.
They've got rid of the Demon Hunter, though, which made me sad, because that was my favourite class in 3. But anyway.
Okay. Well, there you go. Right. We're going to go into the next one, which is Minecraft Legends. I just thought I'd just give that a mention. It's a new game from the developer of Minecraft. Oh, it's more Minecraft. But it looks, I think Minecraft Dungeons has done really well, isn't it? People seem to like that. So it's like, I think it looks fine, doesn't it?
It does look very interesting. The strategy take on it looks quite good fun. And I like the fact that it was like the people of the overworld against the people of the nether. And so you've got zombies and skeletons on your side and stuff. Yeah. So, I thought it looks like an intriguing prospect.
Good. James, are you excited about that?
I'm not sure. I played Dungeons, and that was a little bit underwhelming. Minecraft Dungeons. I know it's a strategy game, but I think they're just milking the name. Minecraft. See how many different genres they can do.
Yeah.
Before people go, hang on, this is rubbish.
This is my...
My goodness, you're cynical tonight.
I like it. Now, that's my list and my top job, but there was loads of other stuff. So, James, let's go start with James. What do you want to talk about that I haven't included on this list?
Oh, just a quick mention to Cocoon, which is... it's been made by, I think, the gameplay designer of Limbo.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And it had this little insect that was maneuvering like balls around to complete puzzles. And every time he completed a puzzle, he went like inside another ball into a different world. And I thought it was really cool. Like a world within a world within a world.
Yeah.
And I think the puzzles look quite interesting too. And with the Limbo credentials, it's going to be decent at least.
Yeah, absolutely. It was very weird that Somerville wasn't shown, but it was in the. It was in the. This is what's going to get released in 2022. So it's like, why didn't you show any of this? It's so weird. Maybe we'll hear more about that soon. From an ex Inside guy, isn't it? One of the studio people have left as well. Yeah, no, Cocoon. It does look good. I forgot about that. What about you, Paul? What have you got?
Well, I don't want Cocoon. Just my brain was melting just watching the trailer. So no. I mean, one I'm surprised that we didn't mention so far was that Ereban Shadow Legacy. I thought that looked very interesting. Do you know the one where there's like robots and the guy was sneaking around in the shadows and taking them out? Do you remember that one? Well, anyway, basically, it was like a guy, and he was. It may have been a dream, but yeah, it was. It reminded me of Origami.
Yeah.
So you're sneaking around in the shadows. When you're in the shadows, you seem to turn into like smoke, sort of thing, and you've got to take out a load of robots and stuff. And it just looked very interesting, I thought. So there was that one that I was looking forward to, and I'm just looking at the list, and I'm not going to mention Fallout 76 because that's an abomination.
I mean, if they maybe the game, what's it called? Starfield would have been out if they wouldn't have worked on Fallout 76.
Maybe
all that team could have worked on that to get it out quicker.
The Fallout 76 rubbish. The other one that I liked the look of, and I thought it looked a bit up your alley, actually, Gareth, was that last case of Benedict Fox.
Yeah, it does look really good, doesn't it?
I thought that looked very interesting with the sort of shadow monster living inside him and showing him his dead father's memories and everything. I thought that looked very interesting.
Yeah. The one I'm looking for... Sorry, James, go on.
I was going to say, you might mention it now, But Lightyear Frontier seems your kind of thing, Gareth. A bit of farming.
Oh God, yeah, I
I'm
remember
looking
this.
at
Yeah,
it
yeah.
now.
That's coming out this year, isn't it? Yeah, I think it
believe
is on
so.
Game Pass. Yeah, so let's see. Yeah,
Is that based on Buzz Lightyear?
could be.
You never know. Okay.
I'm just going to mention one quick thing. As Dusk Falls, it's coming out in July, which I really like the look of, which is this kind of like story narration thing, but it's in that kind of strange stop animation.
Yeah.
So I like the look of that. We're going to play that on Game Pass next month. Right, you lot. But did you think it was a good... Paul, I'm going to give some marks out of 10 if you had to give this. What would you
Marks
say?
out of 10 for the whole show.
Yeah.
I've got to go with a good solid 8.
Oh, good. James, what about you?
8.1.
Oh, it's gone up, yeah.
I think
Slightly better.
I think the only thing could have made it better was a bit of Hellblade,
Yeah.
and maybe the reveal that Call of Duty was on Game Pass. That would have topped it, I think.
Yeah.
For me. I think it was a great idea though to focus on the games that they've got like gameplay for and stuff.
And also
And
the year
coming out soon.
that's coming out in the
Yeah.
next year. I
I
really
think it's a
like
good
that.
idea.
Yeah, because you're not
Yeah.
getting something that's going to go into the future. You know, it's just like,
No.
and when next year we're
Yeah,
doing
waiting forever.
yeah, it's really good. Really good way of
Yeah.
doing it. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think an 8. I think it's a shame that we haven't got a couple more things in 2022, but actually we've got loads. There'll be loads of stuff to play. You know, so it's going to be fun. And also, we've got to remember we haven't got any of the third-party stuff announced yet. We haven't got... There's quite a few games that's got to get released, you know. I'm trying to think desperately of what they are, but there is quite a few of them. Hogwarts, yeah, that's a big one, isn't it? We're going to hear more about. There was another big one I was thinking of. Oh, anyway, but we're going to there'll be loads.
Gotham Knights.
Yeah, Gotham
Is that a
Knights.
big one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a big one though, is it?
Depends who you ask.
It's going to limp out.
You like hate Gotham Knights, right? Let's talk about just really briefly. We have a little chat about Summer Game Fest, if that's all right. Paul, what is?
Yes.
Maybe should we have a couple each and see how we get on? Paul, what was your first one you really liked?
The first one I really like the look of because I'm a massive fan of the films was Aliens: Dark Descent. Because, you know, as soon as I saw them wandering around in those corridors, I knew what was coming straight away. And it was just like, yes, another Aliens game. And, you know, you didn't see a huge amount. You only saw a bit of a trailer and stuff, but it was enough to get me excited. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
I like the fact that it's top down. I think that would help me a lot more. I really like that. I just thinking about the Alien stuff. I mean, I loved Alien Isolation.
Yeah,
I kind of like when you start shooting him, you don't become scared of him anymore. I think that was my problem.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I think the top down thing is going to be really good. I think it's a really good way of doing it. James, what about you? What's your first one?
First one, what should we go with? Marvel.
Ooh.
Midnight Suns.
Midnight Suns, yeah, it's getting a lot of love, isn't it? People are really liking the look of this.
So a nice little trailer which introduced Spider-Man as a playable character.
Yeah.
And the Scarlet Witch, apparently. I didn't really see her properly. But yeah, it was good to see. I think it was Venom and Hulk turn into the enemies. They look really cool.
Yeah.
And the outfits look cool on the actual Avengers and Midnight Suns team. But I just need to see some gameplay.
What is it? What is the game? I don't understand what it is. Is
it's
it
like XCOM?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was going to say it's by the XCOM guys, isn't it? So it's going to be a turn-based thing, I would imagine.
RPG.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So,
good.
And Ghost Rider looked pretty cool as well, I thought.
Yeah. I mean, they've got a really good cast. Cast of characters.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you've got the big ones like Iron Man and Wolverine. And you've got Ghost Rider, Blade, Doctor Strange, Captain Marvel. It's a nice mix.
Yeah.
Unusual.
Yeah, people are really excited about this, aren't they? More than I thought they would be. But yeah, they're really, really into this. So yeah, and that's out this year as well, isn't it? Maybe it's September, October.
October the 7th.
Oh, okay, great. There you go. I am going to do my one first of all. I think I'm going to pick Layers of Fears. Layer of Fears 3, I think it must be, by Blooper. Blooper? Is it Blooper? Plopper?
Uber, isn't it?
Yeah.
Uber.
I love the Laser Fears. I love the first one. It's amazing. I thought the second one was great as well. I think I might have reviewed the second one. Maybe I reviewed both. They're brilliant. That kind of first-person horror kind of experience. They're the masters. Those two games are just amazing at it. And this one being in Unreal Engine 5, they always look great. And I'm really excited about this. It's coming early 2023 as well. Yeah, I think it's going to be great. I was really excited about this one. Do you two play Layers of Fears?
No, I've downloaded it when it was on Games with Gold, I think.
Yeah, mine.
Yeah.
I've downloaded it and then never played it.
Play it, James.
I played it for 5 minutes.
I know it's very.
I looked at a painting and turned it off, and then uninstalled it.
Was it a rubbish painting?
Yeah, that was it. Definitely rubbish.
All right. It was no artistic merit at all. So you went, I'm not playing this.
It was. Yeah, it's terrifying, that game. So yeah, I don't blame you. Paul, pick another one.
Pick another one. I'm going to have to go with what I thought was the cleverest trailer of the night, which was Goat Simulator 3. Because it was an almost shot-by-shot remake of the Dead Island 2 trailer, except with goats in. And, you know, the original Goat Simulator was such a stupid game, but I loved playing it. It's one of the few games that I've actually gone all the way through and got 100% of the achievements on, just because I was enjoying myself being a stupid goat so much. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with that. It looked very entertaining.
It was a good way of going to trailer, but I know James famously hated Goat Simulator, didn't you, James?
I reviewed it.
You reviewed it, didn't you?
You reviewed it.
I think I'm just bitter at how much of a mess the game is. And yet any other game that comes out that's that much of a mess will get absolutely hammered. I mean, it might add to the charm, but it was just like, yeah, we can't bother to fix anything that's broke. We'll release it and say it was part of the idea.
Yeah, it was ironic.
But yeah, so I'm not excited one bit for a third installment. There should be a second one, and hopefully there'll be no more.
There we go. Harsh.
It's like Simon Cowell.
Yeah, he is, isn't he? Yeah. James, what's your next one? You might have 3 now. We're going to carry on. We've got time. It's good.
Yeah, we've got loads of time.
Yeah, James, what's your next one?
Oh, I don't know now.
Oh, you've got it. I can tell you now.
Yeah, but I've got more notes than just then.
Okay.
Turtles, that was quite exciting.
That's out tomorrow. Was that today if you're listening to the podcast? Yeah.
And they've added a 7th character in Casey Jones.
Oh, yeah.
The vigilante. But I like the idea you can have 6 players. Online or offline. I think if you get the gameplay as tight as Streets of Rage, I think it would be really fun. And that's nostalgic.
Yeah. That's out on Games Pass, like today, or if you're listening to podcasts. Yeah, no, it looks fine. It's not for me, but people are going to love it. Back to
like Turtles.
Yeah,
love it.
1990 in an arcade.
Yeah, I was going to say, you must have played Turtles back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day. Not now.
It's because your reactions have deteriorated.
Yeah, I can't do that anymore. Yeah, no, it does look good. That's a really good thing on the Game Pass. I think that's going to be really fun. I think William really was a big fan. I remember when it first got announced, he was very excited about this. Good. That's your second, is it, James? Is that really your second game? Wow, okay. What am I going to go?
It's not the one I was expecting him to.
No, I wasn't expecting that. What am I going to go for? I tell you what I'm going to go for. I'm going to go for one that the Callisto Protocol, which we saw a little bit of trailer stuff for, and that's coming out in December this year. We saw a bit more detail, didn't we? It does look like what was the other game? Dead Space, is it?
Dead Space, yeah.
For the
it's
same
by the same maker, isn't it?
But I think they've been talking in interviews after saying, it's much more detailed. It's very different to Dead Space, but it didn't look like Dead Space. But it looked great. It just looked really interesting, kind of very tight atmospheric journey on this space station. The gore, the horror, They finished on a kind of like the main character getting squashed in a fan. That was unbelievably graphic.
That was very, very gory.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks great. I think, Paul, you like the look of this, don't you?
I'll be all over that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved Dead Space, and this, it looks right up my street. James, I'm not so sure about. It might be a bit scary for him, but
yeah, I think it was very good though.
for me,
I
it's
think it
all
will be a
over.
very good game.
Yeah.
I was impressed by the interactive environment. I think that's always a winner for me. If you can kill enemies using the, what's in the room,
Mhm.
I think that makes it a bit more exciting.
Yeah.
And you could
sort
target
of-
the limbs.
But yeah,
Go
you
on.
could do that in Dead Space.
I haven't played But yeah,
Well, I'm not surprised. The thing I liked was that gravity gun thing that he had. You could pick the enemies up and fire them into fans and things. I
Yeah.
thought that looked very entertaining.
No,
So,
I think it's going to be great. And it's really interesting that the Dead Space remake is like the next month. It's going to be, It's like they've never chatted to each other. Maybe
I don't know who talk to each other.
No.
There's a lot of aliens in space, isn't there?
Yeah.
Or space.
Space
Thing
there is a lot of space out there.
Yeah,
That's true.
That's true.
Very true.
Paul, they're doing another one.
We'll do another one then.
Yeah, one each, one more time.
I'm going to have to go for, based on how much I enjoyed the base game, I'm going to have to go for Outriders World Slayer, the expansion. I really, really enjoyed Outriders when I played it. So it just felt a bit flat at launch in the end game. They've addressed that in recent patches and stuff, but now they're doing a proper expansion and it looks very, very interesting. So yes, I will. My tip for the top is Outriders World Slayer.
Oh, okay, brilliant. James, what's your last one?
Probably One Piece Odyssey.
Well, yeah, I thought this was what you were going to chat about.
Well, we didn't find much out about it though. That's the only thing that, stopped me from talking about it really. We know it's an RPG, and we know we're going to have Monkey D. Luffy, I think we had Tony Chopper, Nami, we had loads of different characters there.
Yeah, me and Paul could
yeah,
tell you about that.
But we are just like, I'm like, what? I was watching it going, I literally do not understand a single frame of this.
I think that's the issue. It didn't tell you a lot, did it? It didn't.
No.
Well,
really
it told you all the names of these characters and stuff, and I was like,
yeah,
what? Who?
That's it. If you haven't seen it, you have no idea. But they've all got really quirky personalities and abilities. So in an RPG, I think it'll be good fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know any more than you two now from what you saw. Yeah, I'm excited.
But you know the backstory though, do you? You know who these people are and why they're together and stuff.
Yeah, I played 4 of the games. I watched some of the anime. So I know a little bit. But it's always a good camaraderie tale. And, like I say, it's a bit weird at times. Because the characters are very, how would you say?
Japanese.
No. I mean, they could be. They're very interesting personalities.
Right.
But yeah, I'm excited for it.
Good. When's it coming out, James? You remember?
Don't really know. I don't think there's a date.
No. There wasn't much going on really.
In
the future. I'm going to do my last one. And you two close your ears. Because it's more to do with, I think, The Last of Us.
Oh, God. Here we go.
You two close your ears. Close your ears. I think I'm sort of more interested, rather than the remake, which was leaked before, which is interesting, maybe, if you want to do it again. Yeah, I know it isn't. But I think it would tempt. I'm keen to sort of play the second one again, so maybe I'll do the both. But I was interested about doing The Last of Us multiplayer. I like the idea of that. I think people sort of forget on the first game there was the multiplayer. And the multiplayer was really good. It was a really good kind of like these fractions. It worked really well, and they didn't do it for the second one because not enough time. And I think it's interesting they've decided to make the multiplayer, which you knew was coming, maybe as a little add-on, but now it's developed into a whole new game. And I think they might do something. I think they did something really interesting for The Last of Us multiplayer, so I think they might do something very interesting. It's interesting that they're going to be developing it into this full experience in that world. I mean, I love that world. I love the game. So yeah, I'm excited about that rather than the remake, the remaster.
Meh.
Yeah, I know you two are idiots.
No, it's just no. Last of Us was rubbish.
It was the best game. Both are the best games in the world.
Last of Us remake is going to be
But
equally rubbish.
best games
and
in the world.
Multiplayer is just rubbish.
That's all we're saying.
Anyway,
That's all
just
we're saying.
before we finish,
Yes.
I just have to mention what was Dwayne Johnson doing
Oh,
apart from promoting energy drinks in his new film?
That was so bad.
And why was he stripped to the waist? I can't understand that.
Ridiculous.
I mean, yeah, we know you're a big lad, Dwayne, but
it's not great.
just
The drink
bit
stuff was
peculiar.
awful. The drink stuff
was dreadful. Yeah,
Awful.
and I was cringing
Yeah,
a
it
bit.
was really bad. I just
I'm
thought,
doing
you know.
He's a massive gamer. Don't know why you wouldn't enjoy that segment. You clearly knew whatever was on about in the show.
But the thing is, Dwayne Johnson, he always strikes me as a really nice guy.
Mm.
You know, he's like somebody you could go and have a pint with, and you know, he'd be really entertaining and everything. But it just seemed so forced, and it seemed so unnatural that he was pushing this stuff. But yeah, I mean, you know, if he'd have broken into what can I say except welcome, then it'd have been all right. But
yeah, I know there was a cringe moment. There's a few cringe moments in that one. But that's a lot now. We haven't mentioned loads of stuff. We haven't mentioned Gotham Knights. We haven't mentioned Warhammer, Nightingale, Metal Hellsinger. So there's loads of stuff we haven't mentioned. But let us know things that you liked. Now, gentlemen, thank you so much for watching these shows.
You're welcome.
If we want to get, we're not going to do what we do next week. We'll do it properly next week. We'll go back to the old format. If we need to get hold of you, where would we get hold of you, James?
I'll be on Twitter and Instagram at OKidUKO.
Great. And Paul, what about you?
I will also be on the Twitters, and my handle is at XboxHub.
Brilliant. And you can find me on Twitter, Instagram and things at GB Briley. But for now, 2022, it's going to be all right, but 2023, wow. We'll see you next time. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
You've been listening to the official podcast of TheXboxHub.com. We had found all the notes of the show at www.thexboxhub.com/podcast. You can also check out our social feeds on Instagram and Twitter at The Xbox Hub and search for The Xbox Hub on Facebook.